Are you tired of having failed another New Year's resolution? It's been over 2 months since you had that urge of motivation. As the clock struck midnight on January 1st, you promised yourself that this year would be different. It doesn't matter that a year ago you said the same thing, or 2 years ago. You knew that this time it'd be different. Well, is it now? If not, stick around because this psychologist is gonna go through some research to help you with turning things around. In this video, I'll explain you why New Year's start is actually a bad time for new resolutions and why you should focus on them right now instead. I mean, if you're watching it in March, as the spring is about to begin. And of course, at the end, I'll get you some hacks and tools to make sure that this time it'll really be different, no matter what time you start. So you're checking your list of resolutions and you can't help but feel a pang of disappointment. You really tried in the beginning, but as if you were doomed to fail. Well, were you? According to the International Journal of Environmental Research and Public Health, most resolutions fail within a month. So if you set ambitious New Year's resolutions only to abandon them within months or weeks, at least you're not alone. In fact, failing at New Year's resolutions is so common that there's even an area of unofficial dates honoring such failures, like Ditch New Year's Resolutions Day on January 17th or the second Friday in January, aka Quitter's Day.
So it's like a universal phenomenon, isn't it? Makes you think, why even make such resolutions then?
Well, don't worry though, New Year is actually a terrible time for setting and pursuing new goals. Let me explain why. And before you give up on your better self, let me reassure you that there's hope for you. In a few days, spring begins and it's time of fresh beginnings, second chances. The perfect opportunity to renew those New Year's resolutions. And by the end of this video, I'll have you prepared for that.
Okay, so why so many people even create those resolutions for New Year if it doesn't work?
Well, people do start with an intention to create a better version of themselves, and that date isn't accidental. You see, there's something about the start of a new year that triggers a psychological phenomenon known as the fresh start effect. It's a psychological tendency for individuals to take action towards their goals following temporal landmarks, such as the start of a new year or even the beginning of a new week. Like, remember trying to start that new diet? People often like to start them from Monday, the beginning of the week. Or there's also that popular diet called Tomorrow Diet. Until that start, why not have a goodbye binge feast? The problem is that tomorrow never comes. Only today is present. The start of a new year serves as a symbolic fresh start, a clean slate, if you will. It provides a psychological break from past failures and a chance to redefine yourself. It's like hitting the reset button on life. So it doesn't matter that last year, till the very end, you indulge in unhealthy eating. Because with New Year comes new you that won't binge on food anymore, right? At least that's the assumption. I mean, New Year seems like a perfect temporal landmark for creating a new version of yourself, right? At least that's what many people seem to believe. And actually has some background to it. Let's rewind to last year, November, and assume that in 3 months from then, you want to become healthier. So the deadline would be in February next year. Meanwhile, we have that New Year begin. And here's the interesting thing. It doesn't matter if you consciously focus on the fact that the deadline is in the new year. It turns out that people who are consciously reminded that this 3-month period includes the beginning of New Year are more motivated and tend to immediately choose options promoting their goal more often than those who don't consciously acknowledge that. So such a small change as conscious acknowledgement of the New Year start already creates such a difference.
So just highlighting New Year happening in that period is enough to get better results? Why would that work?
You see, temporal landmarks like New Year's Day act as mental checkpoints. It's like creating new chapters in your life and distancing yourself from past imperfections. These landmarks prompt you to contrast your present self with your ideal future self. This highlights the gaps between who you are and who you aspire to be. So every New Year's Day serves as a stark reminder of the person you want to become. In the process, it emphasizes the differences between your desired self and your current self. And this pushes you to bridge that divide between your current reality and your future aspirations. Because you want to minimize that distance. Because you want to be that better version of yourself.
I guess it kinda makes sense. But still, failing New Year's resolutions is so common. Isn't there any other way to use that trick then?
Of course, because guess what? Who says the New Year's Day has to be the ultimate temporal landmark for starting fresh? Not me. In fact, I'm here to shake things up and challenge that notion. Whether it's January 1st or a random Tuesday in September, every temporal landmark is an opportunity to rewrite your story. It's just a matter of adding some significance to that temporal landmark, even if it's just one of the past presidents of the USA birthday.
It sort of sounds like the date I'm starting fulfilling my New Year's resolution doesn't matter that much then.
Yes and no. For this specific effect, it doesn't. As long as you add special meaning to that date and make it your fresh start, it can boost your motivation and behaviors. However, there are other factors that might make the date you choose matter.
So there is a better date for starting working on my new goal?
Yes, and now I'll tell you why the first day of spring is actually perfect for it. Alright, so we've established that temporal landmarks are like rocket fuel for our aspirations. But why settle for January when we can harness the full power of spring? And before I tell you how spring would be a better time for working on your goals, let me make a guess about your failed New Year's resolutions so far. Let me look into my crystal ball. I see. You're worried about your physical condition and your body. And that's why your resolution was about improving your fitness. Did I guess correctly? If yes, like this video. According to my research, it was a chance about 50-50. Like flipping a coin. So I guess I could have asked you to pick head or tails and it would be similar. But maybe it wasn't the condition of your body that bothered you. Yes. Recent years has been harsh on your wallet. So you decided to improve your finances. Come on, tell me I was right. And if I still didn't guess right, let me have my last chance. Third time's a charm, right? Yeah. Now this goal of yours I really like. Something that watching my videos can help you with. Something that got significantly worse during the pandemic and you're still trying to get it back to the right tracks. I'm talking about improved mental health. So how did I do? Let me know your New Year's resolution in the comments. Keeping those 3 domains in mind, let's see why January was a terrible time to start working on them. Paint a picture of what January looks like for many of us around the world. It's winter. Cold and dark. Days are shorter, gloomy nights are longer. Moreover, many of us are exhausted from the holidays. The change in seasons triggers seasonal affective disorder or winter blues in some people as well. There are numerous barriers simply working against us at this time of year. Yet we decide to pursue our goals, habits, and behavior changes regardless of these obstacles. After all, it is truly difficult to create lasting change when the support isn't there. And that's already a huge demotivator for resolutions in general. But now, let's talk about 3 domains to discover even more obstacles specific for them. So, you've set your New Year's resolution to prioritize your fitness and embrace a healthier lifestyle. You're determined to hit the gym regularly, eat cleaner, and finally achieve those fitness goals you've been dreaming of. It might also include weight loss, or to be more specific, fat loss. And you know that the diet is the key here, although exercises are helpful too. Now imagine trying to start exercising regularly during week. Whether you prefer to work out in the morning or in the evening, you're welcomed by dark atmosphere that makes you want to sleep instead of being active. If you want to exercise at home, it might be also tough to even get out of your bed. I mean, you're lying cozy and warm in your bed, and then you're supposed to get up to be freezing in that dark, gloomy room of yours, and those distractions around you, as if whispering, chill, don't work out. Just stay here warm, with a warm cup of chocolate and a new binge-worthy season on Netflix.
Okay, so maybe working out at home isn't the best idea, but I can still go to gym, right?
Of course, if you manage to actually get there by walking on those icy sidewalks and not get completely frozen by those winter temperatures. Yeah. And as you arrive there, you're welcomed by overcrowded space, by other people who had the same resolution as you. Good luck with finding free equipment for yourself then. Not even mentioning that gym memberships aren't known to be the cheapest. And you just spend your whole fortune on Christmas time. more like empty wallet time, duh. But then you have springtime about to start. With milder temperatures and longer days, spring summons you outdoors to soak up the sunshine and embrace physical activity. And you don't even have to get that expensive gym memberships, as now you have plenty of cheaper or even free opportunities for workouts. I mean, who needs a stuffy gym when you have the great outdoors as your playground? Spring provides a wealth of opportunities to get moving in nature, from hiking through lush forests to kayaking on tranquil lakes. Ditch the treadmill and explore new terrain. Challenge your body in different ways and reconnect with the natural world as you work towards your fitness goals. Not to mention that spring also encourages a run in the park, cycling around breathtaking trails, or practicing yoga at fresco. And some places even have outdoor gyms for free, which is very important if you have the second popular resolution to improve your finances. Moreover, spring is also a great time to get some boost to your healthier diet as well. During winter, as you are cold and deficient on sunshine, you tend to crave more fatty and calorie-dense foods. And to understand the mechanism behind it, you can check my video about seasonal affective disorder. Anyway, not only you crave indulging on more caloric food, but your surroundings are encouraging that as well. In January, you can still buy a lot of candy on promotion from Christmas edition. At the same time, you might still have quite a huge supply of sweets collected from Halloween and holidays. And let's face it, cafes aren't really helping too. They tempt you with many variations of pumpkin spice latte or gingerbread taste cakes. And have you checked how many calories and sugar is in that? Not really perfect for your new healthy diet, isn't it? On the other hand, spring is synonymous with fresh beginnings. And that includes a bounty of seasonal fruits and vegetables bursting with flavor and nutritional goodness. So we can take advantage of nature's offerings by incorporating more fresh produce into your diet, from vibrant salads to delicious smoothies. Fueling your body with wholesome, nutritious foods will also give you the energy and vitality you need to crush your workouts and feel your best. And while, as they are common in the season, they are also way easier and cheaper to find than during winter, which is, again, important when you're trying to improve your finances as your New Year's goal. And as I mentioned that resolution domain again, I guess it's time to explore the pros and cons of dealing with finances in January versus springtime. Okay, so basically there are 3 ways in which you can improve your finances. You can earn, save, or invest more money. And January is often considered a challenging month for improving finances for several reasons.
Why though?
January is directly after December, the festive season. So many people find themselves grappling with post-holiday financial strain. Overspending on gifts, travel, celebrations during December can leave wallets feel lighter come January. And it was you who is supposed to feel lighter, not your wallet. This financial hangover can make it difficult to focus on improving finances when there are immediate bills to pay and debts to settle. Keep in mind that it's winter, so January comes with its own set of seasonal expenses, from higher heating bills to winter clothing purchases. Additionally, there may be expenses related to preparing for the new year, such as renewing subscriptions, memberships, or insurance policies. These additional financial obligations can strain budgets and make it challenging to prioritize long-term financial goals. And you gotta admit, it's also kinda difficult to save some money when you are left with a clean zero after all those expenses.
Then what about earning more money?
Good luck, as you're not the only one with huge winter expenses. And as people might be struggling more with their money in January, they aren't that likely to spend it on some additional services or products you might offer. Spring, on the other hand, seems to favor improving your finances. You and others had finally some time to recover from winter expenses, and you can lower your heating expenses as well. Warmer weather also hinders opportunities for earning extra income, like mowing grass or selling your old stuff found in spring cleanups.
But during winter, you can also do some season-related side hustles, like cleaning sidewalks of snow.
Yeah, but be honest with me. Would you rather plow in freezing temperatures and increased risk of getting a cold? Or maybe you'd rather do some garden small jobs in a sunny weather that would boost your vitamin D supply at the same time? There's also something that might be useful for creating adequate financial goals. In many countries, spring is synonymous with tax season. This presents an opportunity for you to assess your financial situation, organize your records, and file your taxes. And this annual financial checkup can provide valuable insights into spending habits, income sources, and potential areas for savings or investment. Moreover, tax refunds received during this time can be strategically allocated towards financial goals such as debt repayment, savings, or investments. And speaking of allocating your tax refund, I'll let you on a little investing secret. Many people believe that January is actually the worst month for investing.
Why is it January again?
Well, it's suggested that stock prices tend to rise more in January than any other month, and because of that, you are more likely to overpay for a stock. This effect is sometimes explained by investors selling losing positions for the tax benefits in November and December, and that downward pressure lowers market prices. In January, though, investors will purchase their positions, driving prices back up. February doesn't look that good for investing too. However, April is considered as one of the best months for investing. So with setting your financial goal in the beginning of spring, you still have a bit of time to prepare for that April investment.
Seeing my fitness and finances getting bullied by January doesn't make me feel that well, you know?
Which leads me to focusing on the third popular domain of New Year's resolutions, that is mental health. Even without this resolution, fitness or financial disappointment in January might be pretty tough for your mental health, especially if you decided that you should always be happy and never feel down, which is itself problematic. To help you understand how January and other winter months can have a negative impact on your psyche, I can just refer you to the video that should be popping up now. Even though it focuses on extreme case, that is seasonal affective disorder, the mechanism and symptoms there tend to affect the majority of people, just not that strong.
Oh, so you're gonna be lazy with that and just send me to another video?
No, not at all. I don't want to leave you empty-handed in that topic after watching just the video you're watching now. So let me mention a few more factors. You can still watch that SAT video later though.
Just get to the point.
January specifically follows the festive holiday season, which for many people is a time of joy, celebration, and socializing. However, once the holidays are over, it's common for individuals to experience post-holiday blues or feelings of sadness and letdown. Transitioning from the excitement of the holidays to the routine of everyday life can be challenging, and this emotional shift may not provide the best foundation for addressing mental health concerns. And I bet that at least once you've heard such advice for depression. Just go for a run.
Yeah, and just smile.
And although in the future I'll probably explain more in detail why it's not that simple for a depressed person, I can't deny that in normal functioning people, physical activity usually does have its benefits for psyche. During the winter months, unpleasantly cold weather and shorter daylight hours can restrict opportunities for outdoor activities and exercise, and as a consequence, limits your access to that mood booster. What's more, reduced exposure to natural light and physical activity characteristic to winter season may contribute to feelings of lethargy or isolation, making it even harder to maintain mental well-being during this time. With the arrival of spring though, days become longer and there is more sunlight. You're saying goodbye to SAD and singing good morning to sunlight benefits. And the longer, warmer and brighter days encourage you to go outside where you can have a breath of fresh air and a nice walk. The nature is getting reborn, so we can interact with it and get that reduced stress and anxiety that are connected to exposure to nature. It's also easier and more pleasant to spend the outside time with your friends, and that social contact is important for your mental health as well. Do you have ideas for more pros and cons of getting New Year's resolutions with the start of spring instead of start of New Year? Write them in the comments. And with that, let's move to popular obstacles and hacks for achieving your desired goals.